Hey everyone, welcome. So, you're thinking about building a custom home in the beautiful town of Maryville, Tennessee? That's a fantastic idea. Today, we're going to dig into exactly what that looks like, especially as we head into 2025. We're talking the real costs, the entire process, pretty much everything you need to know. You know that dream, right? Picturing a home that's designed from the ground up, just for you. One with those incredible mountain views right out your window, but still with that cozy small town vibe. If that sounds like you, then you are absolutely in the right place. That exact dream is why so many people are looking at Maryville right now. So, what is the big deal about Maryville anyway? Well, it's this amazing blend of things. You got that classic small town charm, with great schools and a really strong local economy. You've got that peaceful East Tennessee lifestyle with the Great Smoky Mountains basically as your playground, and you're still just a short drive from all the buzz and convenience of Knoxville. It's truly the best of both worlds.
Okay, let's dive into the big one, because for anyone even considering a custom build, the number one question is always the same. What's it really going to cost? So let's pull back the curtain and break down every single piece of the budget so you get a totally clear, transparent picture.
Think of your custom home budget as having about 6 main buckets you need to fill. You've got the cost of the land itself, then the money to prepare that site. The biggest one, of course, is the actual construction. That's all your labor and materials. Then you have your design fees, the permit fees, and finally, getting all your utilities hooked up. So, how does that budget usually get sliced up? Well, no surprise here. The actual construction, the sticks and bricks, is the giant piece of the pie. It takes up over half of the total cost. The land itself is your next biggest expense at about 20%. This just gives you a really good visual of where the bulk of your investment is actually going. First things first, you need the land, the literal foundation for your dream. In Maryville, you've got a ton of options, from lots in established neighborhoods to sprawling acreage out in the country. And here's the great news. Land here is often a lot more affordable than in other major metro areas. That right there can be a huge win for your overall budget. Now, site prep is everything that has to happen before the foundation gets poured. We're talking clearing trees, leveling the ground, maybe blasting some rock, and putting in a driveway. The key takeaway here is that the condition of your lot really matters. A flat, clear piece of land is going to be way less expensive to prepare than a sloped, wooded, or rocky one. So this is a variable you absolutely have to factor in. Okay, beyond the land and the build, you've got these other essential fees. Design fees cover your blueprints and engineering. Permit fees make sure your home is built safely and up to code. And utility costs, well, they get you hooked up to water, power, and the internet. And just a little heads up, if you find a more rural lot that you love, just make sure to budget a bit extra for potentially higher costs to run those utility lines out to your property. All right, we have covered the money. Now let's talk about the process. This is the journey, the roadmap that takes you from a plan on a piece of paper to actually holding the keys to your brand new front door. Here's the path broken down into 5 key phases. And I want to pause on that first step because it's so important. Choosing your builder. Honestly, this is one of the biggest decisions you'll make. Finding a reputable local builder who knows the ins and outs of Maryville, the codes, the soil, the neighborhoods, is absolutely vital to a smooth project. And how long does that journey usually take? This timeline gives you a really fantastic, realistic overview. From the initial designs to move-in day, you're typically looking at about a year. Now keep in mind, things like a really rainy spring or supply chain issues can shift that timeline a bit, which is another reason why that constant communication with your builder is just so important. So now we have the costs and the timeline. And this brings us to the ultimate question, right? For you and your family in this market, does it make more sense to build a new home from scratch or to buy an existing one? Let's weigh the options. Here are the basic trade-offs. Building gives you total control. You get the exact layout you want, modern, energy-efficient materials, everything is brand new. The flip side is it's a higher upfront investment and you have to wait. Now, buying an existing home gets you in the door much faster, often for less money at the start, but you have to sacrifice that personalization and live with somebody else's choices. Whichever way you go, it's good to know what supports your investment in the long run. And in Maryville, you've got these incredibly powerful fundamentals. You have amazing access to the Smoky Mountains, a stable local economy with great schools, and that incredible outdoor lifestyle. All these things together create steady demand and really support strong property values over time. You know, this quote from our source material really just says it all. When you combine a super desirable location like Maryville with a high-quality, thoughtfully designed custom home, you're not just building a place to live, you are creating a powerful long-term asset. So we've covered the costs, the process, and the long-term value. You now have the blueprint for what it takes to build from the ground up in one of Tennessee's most sought-after communities. The only question left is the one right there on the screen. Is this your future?